South Carolina next month.
Ed from the Netherlands. Wow.
Netherlands. Yeah.
Awesome. We are at the top of the hour. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Is anybody excited? Does anybody know what's going on? Um, I think Doug and Peter might have a clue. I think the team has a clue what's going on. But do you? How cool is it to be part of this and be the first to be jumping in and man, who first of all is grateful and just out of their mind, loving Mr. Doug Kyle, Mr. Peter Gantner for this beautiful opportunity and this whole entire Nexus space of the ecosystem to where you can grow and become absolutely abundantly wealthy in your lives. Absolutely. So I'm going to pass it over to Peter first, I believe. Peter, how you doing, buddy?
Terrific. How are you, buddy?
Oh man, it's exciting, man. I'm super pumped.
Excellent. Excellent. You guys noticed that we have a new logo for MetaForge. You notice they only give me the old logo. So they give themselves, Corey and Doug on both sides of me have the new logo, me the old logo.
You're
just
you're
trying to
you're
bring
retro,
things down.
brother. You're retro, man.
Check your email, Mr. Gantner. Check your
Oh,
email.
I know
3
it's
days
there,
ago.
Rhonda. I'm just teasing. I'm
Okay.
just teasing.
Just
I
making
know it's
sure.
there. I saw it there.
He's an old school kind of guy, though.
I
Even
just
though
like
this
to
is
be
so
different.
no school, he loves the old stuff.
Just love
You're a
to be
classic.
exactly. I don't want to be the same as everybody else. Come on.
It's so true. You never could be. You never could be,
All
my
right.
friend.
Well, guys, we're excited to be here. We are ready to get MetaForge started. Doug's kind of going to go through the process of being able to purchase today, and then NFTs coming in a couple of days and different stuff like that. He's going to go through the whole process. In order to do this, to take it from a wide variety of cryptos and things, there's just a lot of complexity to this. I know at some points it looks like it's pretty simple from the consumer side of it, not being part of it. But as Doug said, he's been up all night working on getting this launched. I know that they wanted to maybe put it off till Monday, Tuesday, but hey, I think the best way to get something done is just set up a meeting and say we're doing it, and then try to figure out how to make it all happen. And of course, Don and Doug, being as amazing as they are, they pushed the devs and made it happen. So let's put a one in to give them a big hand for the effort that they put in over the last 24 hours to get this thing going and getting this rocking and rolling, because they really had to push to move this along and get this put together. We're super excited about this, guys. We've been having meetings with projects now. So up until this point, we did a lot of demos for Otherverse over the last couple of years. And it was like, hey, okay, let us know when it's ready. Let us know when it's getting going. And Brian had told me, Peter, by the time we're ready to launch and we get to where we're going, biz dev will become really easy for Otherverse. And I don't know, not that I doubted him, but I just didn't know, right? And now that we are at the position where we're at, and in the next probably 24 to 48 hours, the next update will be available. And we'll shoot that out as soon as it is for you guys to download it. And we can get in there and play around a little bit and see all the new features and new stuff that's coming. But we've been having some meetings, and Corey's been on them. He can probably turn on his camera and chime in here. Guys, the business development here is just moving along, right? Every person we're talking to now is like, yes, we want to do something. We want to build in Otherverse. We just got a message today. A group that has about 1,500, 2,000 people wants to build a region. We've got a brand that's out of the Carolinas that wants to build her brand in Otherverse. The list goes on and on and on of people that want to develop and build with us and get things going. And what does that really mean? That means success ultimately of the project, because new communities, new businesses, new stuff coming to it. This other group has 1,500 to 2,000 new people. Guess what? That's users for Otherverse. And they're going to share it with friends and family and grow it. And they're a Web3 project. We believe there's hundreds of Web3 projects that promised their communities something in the metaverse. Now, some of you guys maybe do some stuff outside of what we do. Some of you guys are just like, no, I just do Nexus. But there's thousands of NFT projects that at one point promised to have something in the metaverse, and they don't have anything right now. And all of those projects are going to need a place to build. And again, what's the beauty of that? Those projects have community members, anywhere from a few hundred holders to thousands of holders that are into the space, and that once that launches will come, download the software, get involved, and push it forward. Why does that matter to what we're doing today? We're taking the lead on being the #1 land building developers in the entire metaverse, because we believe that Otherverse will be the lead metaverse, and we're the first land developers, meaning taking digital land and developing it into income producing properties, being a convention center, being a right, because there's other plans down the road as we get this up and rolling and we start moving it in that direction. So we could see ourselves, MetaForge, with the help of you guys and the benefit to you guys of us building the largest real estate development company in the entire metaverse, eventually owning millions and millions of square feet of, whether it's office space or convention space or who knows what type of space that people are renting out, of maybe a giant shopping mall at some point. Why? Because we have the traffic, the partnership, and everything that we've developed with Otherverse as this moves forward. Look, Citibank predicted there'll be 5 billion people using the metaverse by 2030. I was actually just reading a report. I started to move it off 2033, 2035. There's a report that just came out that said, look, it's not going to get moved out. It's just going to crunch the amount of time and the acceleration of it. So still by 2030, there should be 5 billion people using the metaverse. I want you guys to think about that. 5 billion people using a metaverse. Are they going to use the one where they have to have 27 different pieces of software on their computer? Or are they going to use one that's interoperable with thousands and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of metaverses? I believe that it's going to go with interoperability, and I can simply easily go from one to the next, and all kinds of creativeness. Remember, what made Web 2 take off? The creative nature of people, and then the people that wanted to be part of that creative nature. That's what YouTube is about. It's what TikTok is about. Somebody, an influencer, sits down, they create content, and think about that in the perspective of the metaverse. What's going to win in a metaverse? It's going to be that same creative nature of somebody building their own sovereign or their own region in an area that is so cool that people are going to flock to it by millions, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. And that's what we believe Otherverse is. And we have a partnership with them. Okay. They're involved with us with MetaForge. So we have the opportunity and the advantage of being the first in Otherverse to start doing this, but also the advantage of the relationship that we spent the last 2.5, 3 years building, not just us, but you guys as a community. You guys have supported Otherverse in incredible ways over the last 3 years, whether it's buying NFTs or packages or people that were accredited investors investing in the token. All of that, you guys have continued to support and help. And that relationship is what we're basing what we're doing with MetaForge. That's why it makes so much sense for us to do this, because there will be development companies that are worth billions of dollars, creating billions of dollars, tens of billions of dollars in revenue every single year in the metaverse by 2030, because there's going to be 5 billion people using it. And you can't have 5 billion people using it and not create just an absolute, well, I was going to say a word, but I won't use that word, ton of money, right? And we know that because we look at the internet. Why are internet Bezos and why are these guys so wealthy? Because there's billions of people using the internet every day, and that's what created their wealth. Now, the hard part about that is with the internet, the main way that you could be involved with that is just being a stockholder. That's not the case in Web3. It's not the case in Metaverse. You sitting here today have as much advantage as anyone else. You can be the Mr. Beast of the metaverse if you wanted to be an influencer, or you can be a real estate baron in the metaverse because it's early enough and you can purchase these NFTs at a low enough price that they're affordable, because eventually this will not be this way. When there's a billion people a day showing up in the metaverse, and you have a traffic area, a way to drive traffic to it, you won't buy anything for hundreds of dollars. It'll be tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars for that digital space, because it's really about traffic, right? What's the difference of the real estate that's on Times Square and 1,000 other blocks that are in New York City, where the value of that real estate is worth 3, 4, 5, 10 times the value maybe just 3 or 4 blocks away? Or the difference in the value of a corner of the most popular corner in Phoenix, Arizona, and Times Square. It's the traffic, it's the number of people, it's iconic. It's because it goes around the world all the time in different films and all kinds of different stuff. The same thing is going to happen in the metaverse. It's no different. Even though it's digital land, the same thing is going to happen. It's just, here's the key. None of it's been determined yet. We're making it. We're creating it. There are already, a matter of fact, what's his name? The Sands Hotel became a multi-gazillionaire, right? Billions and billions and billions of dollars he created because he created a convention center, right? He bought the hotel and created the convention center, and the convention center is what made him wealthy. Sheldon, what's his last name? Sheldon, he passed away. His wife just bought the team from Mark Cuban. Anybody got it? Anyway, he built a fortune because he bought a hotel and he knew conventions were going to be coming to Las Vegas. So he went ahead and built out those convention facilities, and it made him phenomenally wealthier than any Adelson. Yes, Adelson. Thank you, Bill. Wealthier than most of the other people who built in Las Vegas, because he understood that traffic came into Vegas and that they're going to want to come there for shows. And eventually there'd be more convention shows than ever. So they would book this thing out and he could make a fortune and build it. You have the chance to be a mini Adelson in the metaverse by getting involved with MetaForge. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Doug. You can go through all the particulars because I don't know them. I didn't stay up all night and work on this. So Doug knows kind of what's going to happen today, what's going to happen over the weekend, what's going to happen on Monday, Tuesday, and he'll walk you through the be able to pay for your MetaForge, when you're going to receive them. Also, he'll walk you through some estimates on when, because I know these questions are going to come up. When can I do ACH? When can I do credit card? Doug will give you some estimates on those, and he'll give you some other firm information. Him and Dawn actually are the ones that have been doing all this. I just come up with ideas and say, hey, guys, this sounds really good. And then they do all the work. So I'm going to turn it over to Doug because they're the ones that get the stuff done.
Yeah, you know that that symbol when you're on your newscaster buddy, and the guy comes on and goes like this. You know what that means, right? You need to talk a little longer. You need to extend it out.
All right, I'm gonna extend it out.
No, we're okay. We're okay.
All right, you go ahead, buddy. Take it away. If you need some fill in, Corey can do that. I mean, I can fill in for you till 7:00 tonight. I mean, I can keep going if you need me to. Just let me know.
I have never heard Doug ask Peter to talk longer. It's never happened. It's amazing.
You guys see he's not paying attention to me because his head's down working right now. He's trying to jam to get this stuff done. Again, guys, a big hand to Dawn and Doug. They have really put a lot. They've pushed to get this done and get this put together. I'm just, most of us would have just said, oh, let's do it next week. Let's take a nap and I'm going to go to bed. They did not. They continued to push forward to get this done and make it happen. So.
All right. I'm back and forth, guys, even right now, as you can see, with the programmers. It's literally been an all night pretty much for Don and I both. And the programmers, Don Muslim's asking for an address You can ask him what address he needs.
Yep, it's on it.
Okay. So guys, this is the life of a programmer. I thought this would be fun stuff. Okay. The fun stuff is really the design. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the design and what we have built and what I'm so excited about. And Rhonda has got new slides for me, and I'm going to go through those slides. Most of you have probably heard the slide presentation. But really what I want to make sure is that we got this documented moving forward. And I'm gonna show a couple of things before I actually get into it. Well, maybe I'll do the slideshow first, see how much they get done. And then I'll go through the back end and front end and how that looks. And Don, you can kind of keep me up to date on this. You know, this feels like I'm at an event and everything is live and new and it's happening in real time. That's what it feels like. Hang on, that is what's happening. That is really what's happening. So we are on a live, we are in an event, and this is happening right now. And to me, it's super exciting because it's like we're creating this new thing, which we're doing. And it's like opening up new worlds, which we are doing. And so we're at a place where we've never been in history. And before I get into the slideshow, I want to do this in a way that everybody can just sit back, maybe even close your eyes if you want, because I'm going to paint a picture for a second, okay? And this is probably if you get nothing else from today, this is probably the most important thing for you to get, okay? Up until the time Peter met Brian, and up until the time Brian filed his patents, and up until the time that Brian had the idea about creating metaverses, and they weren't called metaverses 18 years ago. They were called other things, right? But up until the time that he envisioned a different web experience, which is more immersive type experience, none of this that we're talking about today would have even been possible, okay? But what we have today is the ability to create in a very, very unique way. And we've been able to create, and we've created Insights, we've created Digi, we've created True Badger, we've created Nexus, we've created Avagamis, we've created DFY, we've created a lot of things. And all of those things are beginning to pay off. In fact, we're looking at a very large contract for Insights. That could be a very potentially large contract for the Avagamis and DFY also as things unfold. So everything, as the market is beginning to take off, a lot of stuff that we've created is going to begin to really prosper. And we're very excited about that. But this is a different type of creation, okay? In fact, this is what, and the things that we've created, I would also call a disruptive creation. But this is a real potential disruptive creation that we're talking about. And in the way that I'm talking about it is that the first thing that we're launching, and this is because when I went out and did the research, AI came back and said the number one thing to launch would be esports center would be number one. Number two would be convention centers. We started with convention centers for a number of technical reasons, some of them that you're seeing us go through right now and getting things moving and things. But there's a number of reasons we chose conventions. In Web 2, you can't create a convention center that would be a disruptive or even a compatible expansion of current convention centers. Meaning that we can create a convention center, and you're going to see this right when I go through the slideshow. We created a convention center concept that can collaborate with existing convention centers, meaning expand their model way beyond their current model. How does that happen? How does that do that? Okay. Well, in the current model, they have a physical location. You have only a couple of options, right? You either fly in, get a hotel, pay to go to the convention and participate in that convention, or you can reach out and make contacts to presenters in the convention in some cases and schedule meetings afterwards and do those kind of things. But it's a very limited model in terms of participation. Once we went to the concept with Brian, and Peter and Brian had already been talking about all kinds of different models, okay? So once we went to Brian with the concept, let's do a convention, right? And he said yes. Now that's a big thing for Peter and Brian's relationship, for him to even say yes, because you think of what he's allowing us to do. He's allowing us to create worlds and real estate in his world, the thing that he created, right? Which is going to create massive opportunities for all of us. But when we think about the convention being a physical location, now that convention can actually have a virtual location and be completely duplicated in a virtual world. Okay. So now what does that do for that convention center? For all of the people that couldn't participate and fly in, right? Now they can come in and be a part of the virtual identical convention center to everybody that's going. They can meet with people in the booth. They can have conversations with people in the booth. They can look at product, talk about product, get information about product, make decisions whether that product's right for their business or whatever that convention's going to do or be. And it expands that convention to worldwide exposure. Okay. Not just the people that can come in. Major enhancement. Okay. And that's not the only type of real estate that we're going to be developing, but there has never been a time, and this is the key, there has never been a time that you and I can own a piece of the Las Vegas Convention Center. There's never been a time that you and I can own part of the Chicago Convention Center or the one in Barcelona. These are some of the largest convention centers in the world, and we can't buy them. I don't have, now Peter might and Brian might, but I don't have enough money to even buy a piece of that convention center to even make sense, right? But now we can own a piece of a shard, and I'm going to go through that will allow us to own that piece of that convention center. So I'm going to dive into that. Peter, you want to add anything before I do?
You know, other than guys, as we look at this and as this grows, and I'm going to bring it back to 98, 97, if you were on the internet, there was only dial-up and it was super slow. And you couldn't use video hardly, right? Because video would load too slow. Now here we are in 2024, and people are streaming stuff, entertainment, broadband, right, got developed, and the technology continued to advance and move forward. And it made it to where opportunities that weren't available in the late 90s became available by 2010, 2015, and it's continued to advance. And there's advancements in AI, advancements in quantum computing that is going to change the world. Advancements like Apple coming out with their goggles, right? And I encourage you guys, if you get a chance, go to your Apple store and see if they have a demo. They'll give you a free 30-minute demo of their goggles. And you get in those because we think, oh, maybe it's not, going to a convention would not be. But if I'm somebody who's going to, and you go, well, the goggles right now are $3,000 or whatever they are, they're getting ready next year. They'll come out with a less expensive set. But here's the key. I buy a pair of goggles. I'm somebody who goes to 6, 7, 10 conventions a year. I buy a pair of goggles, even if they're $3,000, and I go to 10 conventions, that's $300 per convention. That's not even the airfare to go. And if these goggles and you get in them and it brings it to life, it's just about you're there at the convention, walking the convention floor. But I don't have to disrupt my family life. So I don't have to say, honey, see you in 7 days. I'm going to a convention. I don't have to, pay for airfare, hotel, all of that stuff. I can still, if there's something important, I can take care of that and then jump back in the convention. I don't have to get talked into buying those zappers, or, there's always at the conventions, right? They have the gadgets that they try to sell you on to buy, right? There's all kinds of advantages. I don't have to pay $13 for a lousy hot dog. It's not very good at the convention center. I mean, there's so many things that are so beneficial here. And remember, the technology is going to merge that together. I mean, we've all seen Star Trek, right? The holodeck, right? It's like you're right there. That's the future. I don't know, 10, 20, 30 years from now. Will it be that I can just be in the convention center and Doug's there and Corey's there and it's all this crazy stuff. I will let you guys know that Brian's already filed patents on what he calls adaptics, all kinds of different things where you have a little box and you want to shake hands, you put your hands in that box and it will literally feel like you're shaking hands with the person that you're on the other side with. So what you see with Otherverse today is only the beginning. Him and his brother are filing patents and stuff for what it's going to be in 5 years, 10 years, 15, and they'll continue to do that and continue to build on it. So think about, as things advance, as things get more expensive, does anybody believe that prices are going to go down anytime soon for any of this stuff? Once they get the prices up there, I don't know if you guys have been through this. Once they get them up there, it's pretty hard you might see a penny here or two here, or maybe a little bit more of a sale, but they very seldomly ever go back down. So this is our reality right now, and it's only going to get more expensive. It's only going to get to be, more there. I'm seeing shows now just to get in the shows, $500, $800, $1,000, $2,000 just to get into these places now, guys. That's not even their airfare. It's nothing. It's just literally to attend these events because it's getting so expensive to hold them. I don't think it's greed on the side of the people holding them. They've got to make a profit. That's what they're in the business to do. If you guys have ever done an event that's going out to the public, advertising can be in the 6-7 figures just to fill the dang thing up, right? You've got all the things that need to happen to put an event on. So it's just, the reality is it's getting more. And I don't know about you guys, but what I want to say, the green movement there is only gaining steam. And so it's like, that's another factor where every time one of these conventions, what's the footprint of a convention that takes place that has to bring 100,000 people from all over the world to one location, feed them, house them, do all the stuff that needs to happen. And I want to point out one other thing. So Travis Scott did a concert in the Metaverse, guys. And this is real world, okay? This has absolutely happened, okay? He had done concerts all over the place, and they're physical concerts. And in a physical concert, you have 10,000, 20,000 seats in a theater, in an arena. That's how many tickets you can sell, right? And so you can make X amount of dollars, right? I have 10,000 seats, average 100 per seat. Take out the expenses, that's what I have. Travis Scott had a concert in the Metaverse. He made more money off of that one concert than he did in any given year, I believe is what they've said. A whole year of touring physical concerts. Why? Because he could have millions of people that paid $10 or $5, whatever it was, for it. I believe they brought in like $50 million on one concert.
Wow.
Because it was the Metaverse. I want you guys to put that perspective into conventions. I can get 20,000 people to come to my Comic-Con convention. Oh my goodness, if I can open it up in a Metaverse, could I have 2, 3, 4, 5 million people show up? And instead of charging hundreds of dollars at the door, I can charge $10 for them to come and bring in tens of millions of dollars for my event, being able to pay for bigger stars, bigger stuff, bigger things to happen. And again, the physical one still happens, but then the virtual one is able to expand it and allow for more people to experience and be a part of that. That is the opportunity here. And I think that's the hardest opportunity for us to see. We're always seeing things in the way they are today. But the visionaries, there were people, Jeff Bezos sat down and said, you know what? I'm quitting my Wall Street job. I'm going to go start selling books on the internet. Okay. There was no one on there. The founder of Otherverse said, you know what? I want to start a website. I'm going to start advertising on the internet. I would have been like, what the hell? Who the heck advertising to? There's nobody there. But they did it anyway, right? I wouldn't have 95 said, let me sell books on the internet. I didn't have that vision, right? I was too much into, hey, let me build a product and let me sell it in the physical world. We didn't see what was going to happen. Now, I'm not blaming myself. I'm not blaming anybody. It was hard to see that the internet would become what it is. But we've seen that now, right? We've been to the dance. We've done the waltz. We understand that the opportunity is there. It is getting ready to duplicate itself in the metaverse. It is getting ready to duplicate it through Web3. The metaverse is the core of Web3. So if in front of us sits somebody who's already helped the internet get to where it is today, right? Without advertising, how big do you guys think the internet would have been today if there was never any advertising on the internet? No way. Without the commercialization of it, it would still be being used by universities and that type of stuff. So Brian had the vision to develop something that has changed all of our lives, right? I don't know, maybe if Brian didn't come up with it, someone else would have. But we happen to be working with the person who did come up with it. And then 18, 20 years ago, he got way ahead of himself and said, hey, what's the final iteration of the web? I'm sure he thought it was coming sooner, right? Just like we all thought the bull run was coming sooner, right? I think my prediction was June. It's already September, right? So, but it's coming. We know it's coming. We just don't know the date yet. And so really what I want to get across here, guys, is let's not start just looking at where we are today. Where are things going to be in 2, 5, 10, 15? You've got Meta spending billions of dollars a year to develop glasses. You've got Apple spending billions of dollars a year to build glasses. You've got 5 or 6 other companies that are spending fortunes to build it. I guarantee you Sony's working on some. I guarantee you LG's working on some. I guarantee you that all of these companies are developing and building technology that will help advance the metaverse. We can wait until that technology is there and go, oh my goodness, it's a wonderful opportunity, just like you can today. But starting a web business today, very few people are going to become as wealthy as the people who started it back in the late 90s, early 2000s, right? You can still become wealthy, but not as wealthy. Right now is the opportunity, because here's the beauty of it. Facebook came out and changed their name to Meta. It poured all the attention on Metaverse, and it created a bubble and an overexcitement, and that popped. So we see what the energy looks like that will come when it's real. And we are right at the precipice. We are right at the door of and it just launched, right? 3-4 weeks ago with this latest update. We started to see, yes, this is real. Tomorrow, the next day's update will show it even more. Then over the next few months, it'll roll out, and all of a sudden it's starting to make sense to people. That's what I started this with, is we were doing Otherverse demos for 2.5 years. We'd get, oh, that's cool. That's neat. Yeah, we want to. No, now we're getting people going, okay, we're ready to build. We're ready to go. They can see that we've made it far enough along for them to start these are not free. We're not building them for free, guys. They're paying money to develop and build, and they're pouring it into Otherverse in order for us to move this forward. So go ahead, Doug. I'm going to turn it back over to you, buddy, and you can take it away.
Super. I'm sitting here watching. I think Don just purchased the first NFT, I think. So no, you didn't?
Don't think that, please. No.
Okay. I was getting excited here.
I wish.
Man. Okay.
We're
All right,
working
I'm gonna
through it.
go. I'm gonna dive in here, guys, and gonna share my screen. And Rhonda, thank you for getting these slides cleaned up and done. It's on a different version of PowerPoint. So guys, I'm used to having two screens and I don't know how to get two screens out of this one. So, I'll we'll get through this. Beautiful logo. And guys, so this is important too, because if you buy an NFT, you're buying into MetaForge Group and you're buying into our first project, which is going to be the convention center. Will there be other projects? Yes. And Peter, you may want to chime in on this with me too, if you're still there. If not, it's okay, because I think we both agree on this. Anybody that buys the NFTs that we're launching for the convention center, when we come out with the esports center, when we come out with all of the other real estates that we will probably launch through MetaForge Group, you guys will get first right of refusal.
So guys, there's something called being whitelisted. The people who hold these NFTs will be the first ones to be whitelisted for any future opportunities. Always the best price, always the best opportunity. So this is what we'll build the whitelist off of. We'll take all the addresses that hold the NFTs, boom, create the whitelist. You'll have a 24-hour, 48-hour advance to purchase them, and then it'll go out to the rest of the world. And this will be for all the future projects that we do. So you're not only purchasing this one, you're putting yourself in line to be a VIP, right? Very important person for all of the other projects that we develop. Sorry, buddy.
Right. No. That's what I wanted you to do, buddy, because we're in agreement on that. Because this, again, when you think about what Peter was talking about with Bezos and, and books on the internet, this is the chance that we have to give you guys an opportunity to really carve out something unique. And Peter was talking about, the VR glasses and all of those kind of things. Everybody that is manufacturing products for the metaverse space, and let's just say what it is, it's the otherverse space, because everybody will have to come in line with those patents. But everybody that's inventing things that will make this space better for the first time, and I never thought of it this way until Peter was talking about the glasses and things being made, right? For the very first time, they're making things that will make you more wealthy. There was never a time like that where things that are being invented is going to enhance things that we develop in this space. So super excited about that. And I think it's a wonderful opportunity. So like this says, it's an impossible business model because it never existed until now. And it is a game changer. Being able to own a piece of a convention center and have your share of this convention center. And when we talk about the shards in a couple of minutes, I'm going to talk about how they move around and how they are used, and so that you can understand just the power of this real estate, which is different. And I'll give this example. If I owned a piece of, and if I could afford to own a 10 by 10 square foot piece of the Las Vegas Convention Center, right? And there's a convention running, but another convention wants to run, and they can't run at the Las Vegas Convention Center because it's already got a show going. So they got to go out and negotiate with Chicago or somewhere else to do their convention, right? I don't own a piece of Chicago and Las Vegas in this example. But when we have a shard in this place, when we develop it in the quantum real estate, there'll be an ability for you to own one shard that will be able to be done in multiple locations. Okay. And I'll explain that a couple of different ways so it makes a lot of sense to you. But it is a game changer. It is quantum real estate. which opens up everything to our imagination to be able to create things that create profitability for us. And that is exactly what we're doing, guys. And when I talk about the convention center itself, usually when there's a convention center, there's a building, and this building looks like this, and it will always look like that because it's a physically built location. Now, the booths on the floor may change, right? But the building won't change. But when we talk about a quantum real estate, when somebody comes to us and says they want to build their convention center in our space, and they want it to look like a convention center that already exists. They want it to look like this one or this one or this one, or they want it to look like something they want, right? We don't have to go build a whole new building, right? We just have to redesign. Our designers have to design an experience that they want to have. And the only way that they can have that experience in a unique way, other than, they just go rent the Las Vegas Convention Center and they try to decorate it differently, right? But in the quantum world, in what we're doing, they can say, I want it to look like the inside of Star Trek, or I want it to look like the inside of the Matrix, or I want it to look like, I'm on the I'm somewhere on the beach in France, or whatever they want. It can be anything in their imagination. They could have a beachfront convention center with all the booths along a beach, right? There is no limitation to their imagination, and there's no limitation to what we can build and design in terms of a convention center floor. It's wide open. It's whatever they want, right? But if, like I was talking about earlier, if they wanted to match and say this is the Las Vegas convention floor, if they wanted to match, the Las Vegas convention comes to us and says, we're going to be putting on a convention, and we want it to match our floor. Every booth would be in the exact same place in our virtual world that it is in the real world. So it can be very unique, very different, or it can be exactly the same. And that is tremendous power in terms of what we are able to do. So when we look at the convention center again, there are unlimited possibilities in size also. So somebody comes to us, they want a massive convention center, we can do that. If they want a small meetup convention room where they have private room meetings and they're talking about specific, maybe crypto stuff or NFT stuff, or new things coming out in our space, which is everything crypto, right? They can have a smaller place. This can be going on at the exact same time that this is going on. There is no conflict in terms of space, right? Because it's virtual. We create that space as needed. The interesting thing about space, though, for when we come to the NFTs, there is a designated size to space, because space does exist in the virtual world. And Brian and I and Peter were having this conversation, and it's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. You think it's unlimited in terms of what we can develop, but yet there is a physical designation. There's a physical piece to actually the virtual world that says a 10 by 10 exists in this virtual world, right? And so it can be anything from that to something like this. It could be something different that they want to do a trading fair They could have a crypto trading fair, or they could have an NFT fair. They could have any kind of thing that they want. They could have a clothing garment. Rhonda talked about, is there ability to do like fashion shows? Yeah, we could do a fashion show. In fact, Rhonda, I should do a slide that shows fashion shows, right? They could have their own runway. And you think about people that are developing clothing like what you and I wear, right? It's a very hard industry to get into, right? And get your brand out to everybody. But what if you had an environment that had millions of people coming to it, like the LA Garment District would, had millions of people coming to it, and you could schedule your own fashion show, your own runway, right? Inside the convention. Unlimited possibilities for people to get their brands out there and get known like never before. In fact, I would say that a person could run a fashion show in the virtual world, get enough people following them that major brands would also want to take them on. We see that in the music world too. You find so many people that are following you and listening to you. The brands require that now before you could ever get a contract, right? So there's unlimited possibilities for us here to help people expand their businesses and run convention centers. We can have things like for insights. We can have things for DFY. We can have all kinds of things going on. Quantum real estate is just an NFT away. What does that mean? It means that all of that will only exist through NFTs. And it's the NFT ownership that allows those conventions, those runways, those trade shows, those things to exist in the convention center is through the use of the NFTs that we own, right? They have to now, when I talked about the virtual world has that physical, not physical space, but it has a designated space within that virtual world, or 10 by 10. The only way that that convention center can run is if they come to us and say, I want to lease your 10 by 10. So quantum real estate is only a NFT away. And so when we talk about the NFTs, we've got 3 NFTs. We've got Quantum Forge Core, which is our basic NFT. It's an introduction to quantum real estate ownership. And it allows for a single shard, single location. Now, this is getting confusing even for our programmers, and I'm going to distill it down in a couple of ways so that you can understand it. When I own a Quantum Forge Core, my NFT can be used in one location at a time, meaning that if I'm using it on our world trade floor where I'm demonstrating products that I want to get out to the world, that's the only place that it can exist. If there's a need for that space in a convention center, I then have to make a decision. That decision would, do I leave my booth open and running? Or do I shut my booth down for a little while and then lease my virtual space out to that convention center so that convention center can use my space and then pay me a lease on that space? Now, you go, okay, how does a convention center happen? How do I get paid? And there's a lot of questions there, right? Well, here it is very simply. We're going to contract with a third-party company. We know an individual that has a company that she does conventions for, and that's what she's been doing, I think, pretty much her whole life. So she brings and does conventions. We're going to maybe contract with her or a company like her that will go out and find conventions to bring to our virtual convention center, right? They will negotiate the contract. They will negotiate everything. You will have to make a decision, though. So the utility of that 10 by 10 space, which is an actual utility, is in your control. At the point that there are a list of conventions that have been booked, in fact, we can run multiple conventions simultaneously, but when those are booked, you will make a decision whether that you want to lease out your space based on that contract that's negotiated. It'll tell you how much your space is going to be worth. Is you're going to get X amount for that 10 by 10 for a 1 week usage of that space. And that would mean if you're running a booth on the World Trade Floor, right, the World Fair trade floor, you would have to close down your booth for a week so that you could rent it out to the convention center and make that money. That's quantum core, single shard, single use, or single location. Okay. But the next step up for somebody that wants to participate a little bit more in the quantum space, it kind of doubles your opportunity. And I'm going to explain it two ways because it's said one way on our website and it's said one way in our buy page. And both of them try to get your mind to the same place. And I'm going to clean up that language over the weekend. But really what this is, it's a big single shard, a single 10 by 10. But that 10 by 10 can be used in 2 locations simultaneously. Okay. And we went through something that we call meta superposition to come up with that concept that allows for a single thing to exist simultaneously in 2 different locations. In quantum physics, that's called superposition. Okay. In our world, it's called meta superposition. And it allows that single shard to exist in 2 locations simultaneously. So what does that do for you? If you're running your business on the World Trade Floor, right, and you have your business running and a convention comes up that you want to participate in, you can do that without closing down your business. Or if there's 2 conventions that come up that you want to participate in, you could close down your business and then have your 2 locations, your 2, it's 2 meta superposition locations going at the same time, one in one convention and one in another convention. It gives you the flexibility to now be in more control of your quantum real estate. Okay. And our last NFT is the Quantum Forge Apex, right? The one with 2 shards is premium. This is Apex. This gives you 1 shard, and it says 5 shards. And this is things that I got to clean up. It's 1 shard, 5 locations. Okay. And that will then allow you to participate in 5 conventions or 4 conventions at one time and leave your business open and running, or 5 locations at one time. It gives you the ultimate in terms of being in control of your quantum real estate in the convention center. Now we have bonuses we'll talk about here that enhance these, and they're super exciting bonuses. But the key is you have control over your utility. One of the things that also I want to touch on before I go through the bonuses, and I'll go back so I don't lose your attention here. One of the things that I want to cover too is that in your back office where you will manage your utility, there'll be the ability for you to sign up for the next 5 conventions. And so your NFT, your real estate, your 10 by 10 shard will be used in the next 5 convention centers as needed, right? And will rotate through the number of people that, if you were in this convention, if we use all the NFTs in that convention because it was a major convention, then you can be in the next convention. If it was a small convention and we used your NFT, right, then the next convention would be rotated through to the next people. So you will always be in rotation of being used. We will not sell any other NFTs for floor space. Now we'll do billboards and maybe convention or meeting rooms and things like that for NFTs that you can own space for. But for the actual floor space, we won't sell any other NFTs until, now don't miss the until. until we have enough conventions going on that we are beyond the demand that our current NFTs can manage or handle. So we are booking lots of major conventions and we need more floor space. When we have that demand, then we will launch another round of NFTs for floor space. But before that, we'll launch for billboards, we'll launch for conference rooms and all kinds of things that people will have to rent from us to be able to use the convention center. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the bonuses. Bonus shards, right? If you get the bonus shards, if I have the core, that's one shard, one use, or one location, right? This would double that. I would have still the one shard, but I would have two usages, right? I would be able to have multiple usage of my shard, right? So then if I had the premium, which is the next NFT, which comes with one shard, two locations, right? It would double those location usages. And now I would have 4 location usages with my shard. Okay, it increases that meta superposition capability. If I had the Apex, right, which is one shard, 5 locations, it would increase my locations to 10, right? And give me really a lot of power in terms of meeting needs and renting stuff out, or having a bigger booth on my main floor, which is this floor here where I'm doing the World Trade Fair. Or maybe I have multiple booths on this floor spread out so that I get a lot of exposure on the World Trade floor with my product. Lots of power with this bonus. 200 NFTs will get this bonus, and they are equally divided between the core, the prime, and the apex shards. So if the apex has a couple more out of the 3 that will get this bonus. So pretty exciting bonus, okay? The meeting room. The meeting room is the ability for a shard or a 10 by 10 to have a meeting room attached to it. So lots of people that are doing conventions want to have their floor space, but they also want to have a private meeting room to negotiate contracts and to meet with special VIP people that they have coming in. And so if they needed a shard with a meeting room, you would have that shard, right? And you would have that ability to do that meeting room for people's needs. And there will be only 50 of these NFTs that will have this bonus as part of it, which will, again, increase the value of your NFT significantly to have this bonus. The last bonus we have is the premium placement bonus. And in this, there's 2 things that you need to understand. This says Apex only. And what that means is that on the main floor, that World Trade floor, the only NFTs on that floor that will have premium placement will be the Apex. Okay, so that on that floor. But there's also premium placement on the convention floors, which is different. Okay. And the NFTs can get the core, the premium, and the Apex can get an additional premium placement location on the convention floors. The only way for these to get those is to get this bonus. And what does that do for you, right? Well, a premium placement booth brings more money, right? And so it increases the value of your NFT if you have this premium placement. If you get this premium placement, you could also get premium placement on the World Trade floor, which is the main floor for your product if you want that. So this is a huge bonus also, and there's only 50 of those. We're giving out 10% of the NFTs are going to have a bonus. Okay. So that is so about 300 of the 3,000 NFTs will have one type of bonus. Okay. And they are limited. Each NFT in the contract, I had it limited to one bonus. So we spread those bonuses out as far as we possibly can, so as many people get blessed with the bonus as possible. Okay, so really excited about the bonuses. All right, almost done here. Going to show you guys how to actually get these for a discount and stuff, so hang in there. Can you own, or is there a price on them? Yes, there is. So here's where we get into how you get a discount. Now I'm going to show you this when I open up the website here in a little bit. On the core, okay, the retail price is $850. We're going to sell it for $250. It's out of the box. 70% discount, $600. There is a Fast Act. You'll see it on the website. It's called Fast Act Bonus. And there's a timer on that bonus, just like we did on the tokens for Brian. There's a Fast Act. If you act on that, you get a 10% discount. So you would get it for $225, 73% discount, $625 savings. If you are a trunk holder, an Otherverse trunk holder, or an Avagami holder, either one or the other, don't have to be both, one or the other. And if you are both, you don't get double discount, okay? So just be clear about that. So you get one or the other, you own one or the other, you get the discount. That's going to be $212 for the core, about a 75% savings, and you can see $638 in cash savings. If you are one of these holders and you don't act fast enough to take advantage, and now this timer starts when you click on the site. If you don't take advantage of this time, you're going to lose out. And oh, Rhonda, we got these backwards. Let's see. Other token holder. Okay. No, she changed it. So let me make sure I read this right for you.
Sorry, I changed it up on you, my friend.
Yes. If you are a trunk holder, Avagami holder, and you miss this timer, your price is going to be $212. Okay. If you take advantage of this timer and you're an Avagami holder, you're going to get the price for $187. And that's why I had them that way, Rhonda, so you understand. So $187, okay? And I understand why you would change them in that sequence. So the best price is to take advantage of the timer discount and be an Avagami holder or a trunk holder if you are, and get in there and buy it. The Prime, you can $1,700 retail. We're selling it for $442 out the gate, $1,258 savings. Fast time discount, $398. There's my dyslexia kicking in. 76% savings, $1,300. Beautiful, right? If you are a trunk holder and an Avagami holder, and you take advantage of the fast discount, and see how beautifully Rhonda has them color coded together. If I was paying attention, I would have noticed that a while ago. But you can get it for $332. If you combine these two, 80% savings, 80.5, $1,369 savings. If you miss the timer and you own this, $376. Okay, we went a little bit deeper on the discounts when you get to the apex. We added a little kicker for you guys. So it's, the other two are pretty equal in terms of their progression in discounts, but this one gets a little bit more. It's a $4,250 retail, $953 out the door, 78% savings. You can see that 70% savings, 74% savings, 78% savings. Fast time, 80% savings for $842. Fast time with a trunk or Avagami, $514, almost 90%, 87.9% savings, $3,736. When you look at this, you're going to get that one Avagami, 5 uses right? That usage is $100 per usage on the shard. Up here, when you look, you're between $187 to $200 per use, right? This is almost half. And if you're one of the lucky ones that gets the double shard bonus, double usage bonus, right? You're going to be down to about $50. What a huge, huge, huge benefit, right? So massive, massive opportunity here for the NFTs and for the discounts, okay, or for the bonuses. Can you earn commissions? You bet you can. Anything we do, we try to help everybody earn commissions. And thank you, Rhonda, for getting that swapped out. So the commissions are 8% direct. Anybody you bring in personally and they sign up and get an NFT, you're going to get 8% on the sell of that NFT. If they bring in anybody, you're going to get 4% on the sell of their NFTs. Okay, so really beautiful, healthy commission plan. It's going to bless a lot of people. It may help you buy if you're doing this, and then we launch the billboard NFT. We're going to sell space for billboards, just like we sell floor space, right? Maybe you'll have the money to buy the billboard space or buy more of the billboard space. So take advantage of this. This is a wonderful opportunity for people to actually own real estate in a convention center. Like I said earlier, can never do that in Las Vegas or Chicago or Singapore or Barcelona or any of the major convention centers. We could never own a piece of those. We can own a piece of this that they come to us and say, can you duplicate our convention center? And then in that sense, we actually own a piece of that convention center while they're using our virtual world. Wonderful opportunity to help people take advantage of those things. So again, our convention center, this is an example of what it might look like. You know, our designers will build out what it will ultimately look like. And Peter, I see our yacht in the harbor here. When we got that and people are coming from the convention center over to our yacht, hanging out with us, having a good time in our virtual world, man. Guys, we're creating our own world. My gosh, how cool is that? Every time I got chills. I literally got chills. Every time I think about it, I just think of how unlimited the possibilities are. And only if we had a couple of people on this call that had any kind of imagination at all, they might be able to do something with all this stuff. Oh, guys, we're going to run hard. We are going to run hard with this concept and with this opportunity. And I guarantee you, we're going to make the most that we can make out of it. And God bless Brian for allowing us to participate in his world with him. What a blessing. What an opportunity. That's it for the presentation. Let's take any questions, and I'm going to look at the website while we filled some questions and see exactly where we're at. How you doing, buddy? Back to you. Let's take any questions, Corey, team.
All right.
Anybody's got any questions?
I was
One
just
question.
answering one.
Okay, go ahead. Why don't you answer it out loud, Dawn?
Sure. So Mike asked, is there a deadline before these deals are done and the retail prices kick in? I'm so glad you asked. Absolutely is. So when you first land on the purchase page, and you'll see this, there's a clear timer there for you, so you'll know exactly how much.
Don, I can actually show this while you're talking about it.
Well, that's fine. Yeah. The time frame is 90 days to purchase when you land there. So 89 days and 23 hours is essentially 90 days.
That's all I got left.
Oh, stop it. Then that's just the window that the NFTs are going to be for sale. Okay. Your window to buy these is 90 days. You have a fast act discount, however, of 96 hours. Doug has already been there for an hour. He better get moving. His
Running out of
clock is
time.
running down. So you have 96 hours for the Fast Act discount.
Oh,
You have the 90 days, obviously, for your Avigami or trunk discount because you're just going to connect your wallet. We're going to confirm that. And then you can purchase with that up through your 90 days. But
yeah,
that's how it works.
Let me explain this a little bit to you guys, because I went to Peter and I had a concept about doing this different than I think what most people do it and what we've done it in the past. Normally, when we do a launch or something, we say, okay, this launch is going to be over on October 15th, and that day it is over for everybody. This is dynamic. I have 89 days left. If Don or Peter were to log on to here 3 weeks from now or 2 months from now, if there's if Quantum Forge NFTs still available, right, they will have 90 days from the time they log on. The key to that is that there has to be some available. So, you know, if they wait too long, yes, their time wasn't going to run out, but there might not be any apexes left. All the apexes are sold, right? So we did this unique so that, you know, I didn't want somebody, and Peter and I, when we talked about it, we said, you know, we want to be fair to everybody. So if somebody logs on in December or November, we want them to have a fair amount of time to look at it, understand it, make a decision to participate. The Fast Act will act the same way. The timer will act the same way, as long as we have NFTs available. Okay. So this is the page, guys. Now, I don't know if the contract is up and running, but you can, nope, nope, we're not.
Do not try to purchase. It will not go through, and we don't want you to lose anything. So just wait.
Just wait. But we got some animation here. I like that. And we can scroll down. We can, you know, this gives you descriptions of this. When you're reading the descriptions, go off of what I say of how things work, because when you think about the usage and the locations, really when you have one shard, one location, it's acting as a single NFT. When we come down here and we have two shards, right? And I wrote it two shards. It's going to be rewritten one shard, or one shard, two locations. But it acts like if it was two shards. That's what the meta superposition that you're reading here, that's what that does, right? It takes it, and essentially, for very simple understanding, it gives you two locations. It gives you the ability, like with having two NFTs, right?
So, buddy, the way this should read then is one shard, two MSP. When you reformulate that, one shard, two MSP, or five shard, or one shard, five MSP.
Yeah, it can read that way too, because it's really you're only getting the usage. And the biggest thing I don't want people to misunderstand, when we say 5 of anything, we're talking about the location usage. We're not talking about 5 NFTs or 5 shards, because if I had 5 NFTs, I would have 5 usages. So I don't want to confuse people. It is a single NFT with 5 location abilities to use. That's it. Okay. And so if you understand that, you know, the language, and I'm going to clean it up as much as I can so that people understand that they've got a single NFT that has 5 usages or 5 locations that can be used in it when you get to the apex down here. Okay. And so you can read these descriptions. These descriptions read pretty clean and pretty clear about how they work. So if you have any questions, just think, I'm buying the Apex. I'm going to have the ability to have 5 booths open simultaneously. I'm buying the Prime. I'm going to have 2 locations simultaneously. I'm buying the Core. I'm going to have 1 location. That's it. Okay. And great introduction to quantum real estate for everybody. So those are how those work. Okay. And then, you'll pick which ones you want to buy. We go through the bonuses that I showed everybody. It's all right here on the website. We're getting closer on that also. Trying to match colors. We got a little work there. Peter and I are going to do a video that goes here. That'll be next week. It'll show up. And then we have all of the discounts now. This doesn't have the fast start discount and those things. Those are over on the sales page. These are just the basic savings here for you. Okay. And then a little bit of information about them. So super exciting. I think we're super close. They may have to come in tonight to finish up. We were 99% sure that we were going to be done at noon. I kept pushing them all night last night. But as these things go, I want to make sure the contracts are right. I want to make sure when you hit the button to buy, there's no problems. And so, the worst thing for me is if I pushed it and got it where you could buy right this second, and then you had problems buying and lost your money, that would not be good for you and wouldn't be good for us. So we're there.
Well,
so let's take any
It
questions.
wouldn't have been good for us because we would have got them their
Oh,
NFT.
it would have stressed them out. I know how. Anytime something goes wrong, whether we make it right, it's still stressful. So
Yes.
and I want to be the only stressful person. Don may be stressful a little bit too on this call. So,
All right, so two big questions. One is timing on ACH, and the other is timing on credit card. Please, can you answer those 2 questions for us?
ACH and credit cards will both be next week. So we'll get this thing smooth, and the credit cards should be pretty simple. We're already doing that on things, and we're already doing ACH on things. So that won't take too long. The minting contract will also be on Monday or Tuesday. So if we are able to buy today, tomorrow, and Sunday, you'll be able to buy. And it's important before you go out and to buy that you go on and you get your Solana wallet. I think the one that Peter and everybody suggests is the Phantom wallet. You have that Phantom wallet because it's not going to allow you to buy unless you put the wallet address from that Phantom wallet on the buy page. It'll make you connect that. And the reason we're doing that is that if you're buying on Ethereum or Binance or even Solana, we make sure they match, right? That when we do mint on Monday or Tuesday, that your NFT automatically shows up in your wallet. Okay, so it'll be all seamless. You won't have to go out and claim anything. You won't have to go out and do anything. It'll all happen completely automated for you. So,
I have an analogy for your Apex. There's 2 of them. Okay. First one is, so it's kind of like my brain. My brain is an Apex. I got 5 different people going on up there, 5 conversations.
Wow.
Same thing. Or it's 5 stories of that's how I'm picturing it. I've got this 5-story trade show space or event space, and I got all those floors I can do different things with and lease out or
okay.
yeah,
I can go with that, but let me take, you guys want to see Rhonda's brain explode on screen? Okay.
Too late.
You have those 5 floors, Rhonda? Yes.
I do.
But if we had 1,000 conventions going on, you could use your 5 floors on any of the 1,000 conventions that we have going on. So you're not limited to just those 5 floors, they can
Get that.
dynamically
Oh,
move around everywhere, right?
I
Guys,
love it.
is this amazing stuff?
I love it.
Or is it just
And
me?
I'm just glad-
Am I just geeking out, Peter?
No,
Well,
no,
maybe
you're not.
I'm just glad I don't
not.
have to walk a trade show floor anymore.
No,
I
you
think-
do. Oh, thank you for saying that, Rhonda, but
Well, I
you
mean, I do my
do.
Virtually,
Your virtual
my
self. So
avatar.
somebody asked, could you have a list of all the vendors, and I press a vendor and I go to their booth? The answer to that was no. And the reason it was no, and it's open for debate, but for me it was no. What was the advantage of vendors being at a convention center if everybody could just teleport to where they want to go, right?
Right.
Now, I'm walking along the trade floor and I look over and I go, that looks like a cool product. I don't know anything about that. I go look at that to find out. And now I learn. It's a double disadvantage to not walk the trade floor, right?
Right.
Now, granted, I'm not going to get cramps in my legs anymore, Rhonda.
Exactly.
I'm not going to have a
to change my
sore
shoes
back.
3
Right.
times. My
Right.
ankles aren't swollen. Yeah,
Right.
just a thing.
But you're still going to have to walk it, girl.
Oh no, it'll be fun to walk this. That's how
It
you
will.
find new business opportunities.
And that's where you
Right.
meet people
Right.
that you knew from other things and other stuff. Like, hey,
Hey,
John, how you doing, buddy?
Peter, long time no see. Hey,
Long time,
Corey.
yeah. Put some
I'm
business
gonna go
together
meet Corey
real
in
quick,
the
make it
bar.
happen.
Corey's got a glow, man.
He does.
Now, I
Always.
got to tell you, Corey's super excited about this because if you guys have ever gone to a convention with me, we start as early as possible and we go all day long. There is no time for snacks. There is no time for lunch. There is no time for any of that stuff. And so the first time Corey didn't know this, we went to a show. Future times, I'd go, what's in your backpack, buddy? He'd open it up. He'd have sticks of food and he brought snacks with him.
Jerky.
Right here, we'll be able to walk the showroom floor. He'll be able to sit down and eat. He'll have to know where he can make a steak. He could make some, who knows, pasta, whatever it is that he wants. And he won't be going, oh my God, this guy's insane. He never stops. He never eats. How does he do this? Right. But, we're focused on what we're doing. So we usually go in pretty heavy to get stuff done, make sure we're getting the value out of that's the thing I love about it. Guys, I buy a ticket. Like if we, as a family, if we ever went to Disney World or Disneyland, we were there when they opened and we were there when they closed. Because if I had 12 hours and I'm paying $92 for a ticket, I know that's cheap nowadays.
Right.
Dollars worth in 12 hours, not in 6 or 8 or 5, right? I'm the same way with the convention. Right? I'm like on this, right? In a virtual convention that can run 24/7 because of AI and developments and things like that, it's going to be incredible. Now, I'm going to ask you guys this question too, because it happened to us. How many people have run a trade show, physical trade show booth and came in the next day and some of your stuff was missing? Like somebody stole some of it, right? We were running a product. It was super hot. We came back and it's like, where'd they go? They can't steal your stuff in a virtual booth. They can't. It's impossible, right?
Tell those security guards are the ones who pick up their
One
stuff.
more too. Anybody ever have everybody disappear from the booth? And you're the only one there? And you've got to use the restroom. Oh my goodness gracious. You sat there and drank bottle of water after bottle of water after bottle of water because you're talking so much. Everybody disappears because they're getting snacks and lunch and going around. I want to walk the trade floor show. I've been here for 2 days. I haven't had a chance to do it yet. You're the only one there and you are about to burst and you're trying to get people to come back so you can go use the restroom. It ain't going to happen in virtual world, guys. It's not. There are so many. I'm telling you, once people understand, this is what I like. I like to find things that when you look at it and go, here's how it is today, and here's how it can be. And this is such an advantage over this. It's absolutely incredible. Now, there's people that are weird that love trade shows. And I don't mean to call you weird if you love a trade show, right? I mean, each to their own, right? But I'm not one of those people. I'm not a fan of going to trade shows and all the inconveniences and all the stuff that it takes to go through a trade show. So to me, virtual trade shows make all the sense in the world. I actually like working from my desk at home, right? Because again, it's just so many advantages to it and making this stuff happen, guys. This is going to be the future of trade shows, of all this stuff and all the things that we're putting together. So I'm super excited about this, our partnership, the access to early technology. I got to tell you, when technology comes out, who's getting it first? MetaForge. I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm pushing for it. When Otherverse needed us, we were there, and Otherverse is going to be there for us when we need them to give us the ability to grow this thing, book conventions, do all the stuff that we're there to do, and make it happen. And I actually already have some ideas of my own of things that we're going to develop. So remember, guys, when you purchase this, MetaForge is going to be developing our own technology to make events better and better and better, right? We're not just going to say, okay, we're going to develop our own stuff in the metaverse space, right? We're going to take Web 2 products and convert them into Web 3 products. We're going to continue to advance it because then we own the technology, and then we can license that technology out to others when we're ready. But we're going to continue to, it's our goal to make it to where people go virtual convention, real convention, virtuals. It's a slam. My concept is we make it an absolute slam dunk that virtual conventions are the advantage. We're not out selling conventions saying, hey, you need to have a virtual convention. They're calling us saying, we know you are the best at putting these things on. You absolutely, everybody that comes to your conventions raves about it. They love what's going on. And so we're booking with you guys. Even though you're a little bit more expensive per booth, per 10 by 10, the other guys are at, this price. You guys are a little higher. We're coming here because the experience is better, because you guys understand it, because you guys spent the effort and the time and the energy to develop out the technology to make this thing happen. Why is that important to you guys? Because then you're getting higher rental rates on your 10 by 10, and that'll continue to go up. It'll start low, and I want everybody to understand it. It will start lower when we first start renting these out. Just like it was at one point, you could get a billboard in Times Square for a fairly inexpensive, rented all day long, and now it's rented by the hour, and it's super expensive, right? So we're going to grow with time. Over time, these will continue to develop and move forward. And of course, first right of refusal. If you own one of these, you're first in line for all the other stuff that we do as we develop and build this thing out. I want to be like, oh, that's that guy that built out 1 billion square feet of space in the metaverse, right? They're like the number one. I want to be up there just saying, hey, the number one out there. And what we did is we didn't say, hey, we're going to own the space ourselves. What we did is said, let's partner with a community of people who are the owners of the property. We're the company that's developing technology, booking events, and doing all the stuff, right? We're putting together everything that's needed. Community provides the virtual real estate. We book all the stuff in between and develop stuff. It's a win-win situation, and we provide value to the customers, the companies, the projects, people that, I don't know if most of you probably have not launched a company from scratch, okay? Some of you probably have, some of you probably haven't, especially a product company. I got to tell you, it's rough. I've launched several toys and different things. There were times when we were launching where coming up with the money for a convention, toy fair, whatever it was hard to do. But we know we had to be there. So we'd spend $20, $30, $40, $50,000 getting prototypes ready and flying there and paying for the space and rental booths and everything that we needed to do. Imagine a startup being able to accomplish that all in a virtual space for a few $1,000s. The opportunity is just tremendous. I just think about this from those perspectives alone. It would help way more people launch businesses, way more people have success. And then, of course, if you want to go global and you want to have this thing, you know, there's the German toy fair. I've never really went to it. Why? Because it was going to cost me 6 figures to go to it and set up a booth and get it all there. By the time we got everything flown in, flew people there, put it up. There's the Hong Kong toy fair. Never went to that. Why didn't we go to it as a vendor? Because it would have been, again, 6 figures to go to that event. So we did the American toy fair, but again, and some international people came there, but it was only some, right? So again, these advantages to the vendors themselves, that's really where the magic comes in, is right. Can we make it valuable for every single portion? Is it better for the vendors? Yes. Is it better for the attenders? Yes. Is it better for the environment? Yes. Is it better for people's pockets? Yes. All the way across the board, virtual conventions are going to be have an advantage to them, especially with the development of technology as we go from 2024 to 2025 to 26 to 27 to 28 to 30 to 35 to 40. All of these advantages are going to come into clear focus, and you're going to be sitting there going, well, shoot, I wish I would have known this was going to take place. And then some of you guys are going to go, well, Peter did tell us, so we actually really did know. And hopefully you took advantage of it and decided to build. I'm super excited about this concept, guys. So me and we sat down actually a couple of years ago and started to come out with a way to purchasing real estate in the metaverse. There's a lot of people who purchased it in other areas that are wondering why they did it, because they when you're purchasing it, it's left up to the people who purchase the land to develop and build everything on it. In this case, the way we're setting this up is you have full 100% control of the rental of your space. It's your space, but we're putting together a company that will facilitate, help in booking the events and putting this whole thing together. So you have a place to then rent it. It's not like, who am I going to rent it to? Oh, wait a minute. I have MetaForge. They're going to book things and they allow me to rent my space through them. So it's a win-win situation across the board. So there'll be full-time people that'll be working on developing and filling this stuff up. So anyway, guys, thank you for being here. I think,
hey,
is
buddy,
that all we got?
No, you know, I'm going back and forth with Dawn. I'm trying to get her to check her Skype real quick for me. And I need her to go directly to her personal Skype.
Yeah, I'm going.
Do not do not pass go. Do not put.
Yeah, I said quick. I said please. You know, so now I just got to tell her to go do it. You know, we did everything we could to launch today, and get it out there for everybody. I'm not comfortable with where I'm at with the contracts for everybody to go out and try to purchase. So, Peter, I think what I want to commit to doing is Monday. I think we do 2 calls. I think we do a call at noon, and I think we do a call in the evening, and I think we're ready to rock and roll.
Okay.
Okay. It's not what I want. So it is, but I think, guys, I think we'll be good to do a quick call and get everybody launched. What you guys can be doing between now and then. Okay. You can be going out and understanding how to get your Solana wallet, get your Solana wallet set up, because you're going to need that to be able to purchase. Okay. So if you'll do that, then things on Monday should just go like clockwork, and nobody should have any problems at all. Okay.
Yeah, and Brenda will answer your question before we leave.
I'm typing it. Yeah, I was typing it too.
No, you do not have to be at both. You don't have to be at either one. We'll just be live, and then you could go purchase. So these are not required meetings. These are voluntary meetings for you to come and attend. And Dawn, answer the question.
Who doesn't want to spend more time with Doug and Peter?
We have to be here. If I don't have to be here,
I don't get that answer.
So I do want to.
Well, answer this question. It's voluntary for them. It ain't voluntary for any of you guys.
Right.
We have to get that clear.
We tried.
Yeah. That's a given. So I do want to answer this question because it's a very important question, and I want everybody.
Go ahead, buddy. Answer the question in the Q&A.
The one Brenda asked. I've already typed the answer, but I want to be very clear for everybody because we're trying to help you get all your funds together and in the right place. Okay. So yes, if you have an Avigami or a trunk and it was purchased with your MetaMask wallet, you need to have your funds in that wallet because I can only connect one MetaMask wallet. And if you want to utilize that discount, you have to give me that wallet connected so I can check that and give you your discount on the payment side and give you the correct amount you need to pay. And your funds need to be in that same wallet if you're wanting to use something other than Solana. Okay? Because if you're going to use Solana, you need to select your Solana chain. Then you'll connect your Phantom wallet anyway, because we need to capture that for the NFT to be sent to you, and you can pay from that wallet. That's perfectly fine. But for
And guys, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're totally fine. But for MetaMask, Ethereum or Binance, the funds need to be in that same wallet. It can be USDT, in either one of those, but just needs to be in that wallet.
That is correct.
I want to relax everybody. 90% of everybody who's going to get a discount is part of this community, okay?
Right.
You run into a problem, you get there and you go, wait a minute, I've connected my wallet, I'm not getting my discount.
Yeah.
Send Sharona an email saying, hey, I should get the discount because I own an Avigami, I own this. And she'll say, hey, what address are you trying to use? What wallet are you using? You'll give her that wallet and we'll get it figured out, okay? We'll let you know what you purchased your Avigami in. We'll work with you guys to make sure that you get this done. So Sharona, maybe you can put in the customer service email address, guys.
It's Peter
at
no
panic. Yeah. No worries.
Yeah, no
Peter at antipanic.com.
Exactly. That is
we're going to put a sort of a living document of these FAQs because Dawn's been typing in answers to so many of the questions. We've already started a list, so that'll be in Discord, and these are the little practical questions of how do I pay, when does this pay, what do I need, all that stuff. So go to Discord, look for the FAQ image, and click on the link
page. And you go to purchase it, and you feel you should be paying $187 or whatever, the $514, whatever it is, and it's not there. Stop what you're doing. Send an email to support@dfyairdrops.com. You're gonna get you're gonna get your Avigami, or your MetaForge, your NFTs. Don't worry about it, guys. Just send an email. We'll jump right on it. If it's in the middle of the night, might have to wait till the next morning, but there's no need to panic, no need to worry. We'll figure it out. And we'll get you to make sure that you and guess what? If you go through the process and you go, oh my goodness, I didn't realize it, I paid more than I should have, you're going to send an email and we're going to refund it back to you. Okay. We're going to make sure that everybody who either holds an Avigami or a trunk pays the right price, right? We'll get that sorted out. I don't want anybody to worry. We're on your side. We work for you. That's what we get up every day. And we said our goal is to create digital wealth for this community, for you guys out there. So don't worry about it. If there's any issue, guys, we will get it fixed. Okay.
For sure.
And even if I had to sell you my own personal one, I'll be with that one. You'll be with one, and everybody will be excited and happy. All right.
Hang on, guys. I just got a message from Muslim. He did W8, which I think means wait.
It means wait. Yes.
I just told him that he missed the launch and we're going to do it on Monday. And he said W8, wait. So we're waiting.
Wait a while. If you can't wait, we'll post in. So keep an eye on the social media. As soon as it's ready, we'll post it in there, guys. If you have things to do and want to go jump off here, that's okay. It's good. We will post in social media if you can do it earlier than Monday. Okay. So just keep an eye on it. Keep your notifications on and you can jump in there and get that done. All right.
So one thing for sure, we will have a couple of meetings on Monday to get everybody going, answer questions. And in fact, the meetings can be a little bit more informal for you guys. If you want, where you're asking direct questions, we can do a presentation. If you want to bring new people on those too, but we can answer, you should be in gear at that point to really know if you need additional help. So, but it looks like we may be live still sometime today or tomorrow. But like Peter says, we'll let you guys know, and then you can go out and purchase. But we will do we'll do additional presentations on Monday, because I know for sure things will be clean and running by then, and we'll be able to rock and roll. Okay.
Perfect. All right, everybody, have a great day. We won't have the meeting tonight, so no presentation tonight, because we're gonna get through all this. We'll move that till Monday at noon, and we're gonna do 5 or 6 on Monday.
We'll do 5, and we'll do noon. We'll do noon and 5, if that works for everybody on Monday. We'll do 2. And again, repeat one more time where everybody's going to be posted when they know what W8 means.
We'll post it.
We use Discord and Facebook.
Okay.
It'll go in Discord and the Facebook private group first, and then it'll start showing up on all our public Facebook or social media.
Way above my pay scale on any of that stuff. So I gotta leave that to you guys. So
we do put it in the Digi Discord as well.
Oh, dang. Okay. Okay, guys, thank you for your understanding. I hope. Again, I'm getting chills. I just love this. Just the ability of where we're at and where we're going. I hope you got the vision, and I hope it absolutely rocks your world like it's rocking mine. So look forward to seeing you guys on Monday, and pay attention to the media for the W8 message.